and welcome to another episode of Gamerheads. My name is Roger, aka Rogue Leader 76, and with me are my co-host Blue,
aka Writer's View,
and my co-host Mike,
aka Pezman Mike.
Christian is not able to make it this week, but he'll be joining us again next week. This week, we will be talking about our E3 reactions and any kind of news and games and things we like, things we didn't like, and also your listener feedback. We'll be getting into that during the show as well. So we have quite a bit to talk about, actually. I was writing up the notes, I was like, wow, there's actually a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Kind of buying a flash, didn't it?
It did. It was a busy couple days, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like really time intensive, and then it's just over.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's weird.
It's a shame Christian isn't here, because I imagine he has one or two thoughts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I wish he was here too, because I really wanted to get his thoughts on the certain games, but I guess we'll have to catch up with him next week. But before we get into any of our reactions or E3 reactions, Blue, you had an icebreaker for this week.
Yeah, a piece of news that came out this week, and I think it was during the EA conference. They said that once upon a time, they were working on a Mario Party style game featuring The Simpsons.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun, I think. It's too bad that didn't actually end up happening. But I was wondering if there are other shows like that need games.
Yeah. I have one. This is a weird thought. What about a Gilligan's Island game?
There is one.
There is?
It's on the NES.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I missed out on it.
Have a more recent one.
What kind of game would it be, though, Roger?
I think that would be a fun party game. A survival game.
We went from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
A battle royale. Gilligan's Island battle royale. Wouldn't that be fun?
No. Well, I mean, you could have the different classes, I guess. You know, you've got your, you got your professor who can craft things. You know, you've got your skipper who's your heavy artillery guy.
Yeah. Gilligan is just like lucky, I guess. I don't know. You got the Howells, who are rich and old, but they're rich.
They could have lots of resources.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ginger's special ability is.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Marianne, that's my question.
Marianne would be the all-around character.
Oh, all around. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was thinking like not only stealth for Ginger, but she could also like cast a lure, so like convince you to be on her side or something like that.
You know what the funny thing is, though? Half the listeners right now are probably like, what the hell are they
Gilligan's what?
Yeah, what is that?
Who? Is that a web series?
It's still on MeTV, isn't it?
Oh.
Do you know what MeTV is? Is that thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it is. I think it's on MeTV. But I was thinking, I think that'd be a fun game. A Gilligan's Island Assassin's Creed style. That'd be awesome.
You systematically have to take out the remaining survivors.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a fun game. I'd play
dark.
that. It is dark. What about you, Blue? Since I should have let you go first. What is your thought?
Well, then I just did what you did, because I was thinking about all these shows that I've never played games for, and then if you hop on the internet for about 30 seconds, you realize most of them already have games, because we live in a time period when every property has been exhausted and everybody can make their own games. But I was thinking, because one of my favorite animes is Gintama. I don't know if you guys have ever watched it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't figure. You disappoint me so much. You know, why should it stop now?
I know.
But they have games for the series, but only in Japan. So you have to import them. So I was thinking we need, a game that's for the world. The Gintama fans of the world.
What is the series? What is the series about?
That's the ongoing joke of the series, is you can't really explain what it's about.
Oh.
It's basically a comedy series that parodies all kinds of other anime. It parodies video games and Japanese culture and TV shows.
Oh.
And so it's really funny. Highly recommended. But yeah, so because it's based in comedy, I think it would make a really good party game.
Yeah. It sounds like, what was that one game that we reviewed?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. The racing one that you
the
were
racing
playing?
one.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But
Nippon Marathon?
Nippon Marathon.
No, except it would be good.
Oh,
okay.
I like the idea of Nippon Marathon. I thought that was a cool idea. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just execution was just not there. So maybe this would be the game for it. Is it kind of like Attack on Titan or anything like that? I'm just kidding.
Oh
Is
dear.
it closer to One Punch Man or something?
Mike, what about you? What's one TV series?
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, here's what I would like to see. I know there's been a ton of games already, but I would love to see Arc System Works, who made Dragon Ball Fighters, make a fighting game based on the Ninja Turtles universe.
Oh.
And I am a big fan of the current IDW Turtles comic. It is such a great story. They introduced so many new characters that fit right into the Turtles lore, and so I think if they did a fighting game based on the comic, I think that would be awesome.
There is a Turtles fighting game.
Oh yeah, Turtles Tournament Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was '94.
Doesn't count. Too long ago.
Doesn't count. Okay, I thought there was one on the Switch too, or on the Wii too, maybe.
Well, yeah, you're thinking of Turtles Smash Up, which was kind of like a Super Smash Brothers clone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Not good. No.
Yeah, no, that's it.
No.
That's why we need something good. But in terms of TV shows, more recent ones, I think would be interesting if we got a Better Call Saul video game, kind of modeled after Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And also introduce a mechanic where you're doing stuff outside of the court in order to like trap or trick your whoever you're going up against as
silence your witnesses.
That's right.
I don't know why they didn't show up, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would.
But if you watch Better Call Saul, he does, a lot of his tactics are underhanded and for lack of a better term, without integrity. And it would be fun to try to do some of those sneaky underhanded stuff and then bring it into the courtroom.
That'd be awesome. That would be cool. Cool. Listeners, let us know what you think. What is one TV show that you would like to see get its own game, and what would the game be? What kind of genre would it be? You can send us feedback. You can send us a tweet at GamerHeadsPC. You can send us an email at info@GamerHeadsPodcast. You can also go to facebook.com/GamerHeadsPodcast, and then you can go to our website, and that's GamerHeadsPodcast.com, and leave us a message there as well.
You're getting too used to Christian doing it for you.
Yeah.
I know. So it's gonna be really hard when he's not here. When I say listeners, I do that all the time. But all right, so moving on, then we're gonna be talking about our E3 reactions, and sprinkled in there are gonna be some of your thoughts as well, because we asked last week, what are your things that you're hoping for, things that you've seen at E3 that you're excited about. And some of your reactions are going to be sprinkled within the show itself. So we'll start us off with the Xbox conference, because that was the first one on Sunday of last week, I think, right? They kicked it off?
Yep, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start off with what your initial thoughts were. What did you think of the Xbox conference?
Well, they packed it full.
Holy cow, did they?
Mm-hmm. It was just trailer after trailer after trailer.
Crazy. Well, but I thought to myself, they better, because the fact that they bought all those studios.
Yeah.
If they didn't have trailer after trailer, I'd been like, why did you spend all this money on this?
Mm-hmm.
But they had 60 games, didn't they? That they announced.
something like that. It was a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
think it was an hour and a half long.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So 60 games in an hour and a half long. And then plus all the, chit-chatting that they do in between.
Yeah. Mike, what were your initial thoughts?
Breathtaking.
Really?
No, that's what
Okay.
that was one of the things that came out of it because Keanu Reeves.
That's the word of the week for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it was okay. Honestly, like they showed off too much CGI trailers. And I will say though, even though it was shown off at EA, I didn't get a chance to see it until Microsoft's. But I thought the Star Wars game looked really good.
Yeah, the Star Wars game, I thought it looked pretty good too. I know we
Mhm.
talked a little bit about that last week, and Christian wasn't totally on board, but I thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah, I liked the short Battletoads trailer we got.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily sold on it. I haven't decided if I liked the style yet. Like it looks like it's more, it looks like how a Battletoads game should be, but I don't know if I don't know if I liked like the jagged edges for the characters. It's like everything's right angles.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of discussion online about the new character design.
Yeah.
Anecdotally, I'd say it's about 2/3 against, 1/3 for.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for me to. I mean, I'll still get it, but it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
I'm also really salty that they didn't show any information on Cuphead DLC, which was announced a year ago, and we haven't heard anything about it since then.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of ignored Cuphead altogether.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. So in my notes I had they had 60 games, 11 world premieres, 14 games coming from Xbox Studios. Yeah, that's a lot of games. One of the games that they showed off, which I was super excited about, the new game from Ninja Theory, Bleeding Edge.
Yeah, it's like just another battle royale.
Yeah.
Which is not what I was expecting given the name. And definitely it's like this
either.
It's like this brightly colored, like cyberpunk kind of looking style to it, which again I feel like is a big mismatch for the name, Bleeding Edge.
Yeah. I know. I mean, they went from Hellblade, which was amazing, to this game that seems to be, I hate to say this, but like a copycat of everything out there already.
You're talking about the one with the characters that look very Overwatchy?
Yes.
And it's like 4 versus 4 death matches or something?
Yes.
Only they're all like half robot. Half
like
people, half robot.
Yeah, like Borderlands meets Fortnite meets Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meets Mad World or whatever that is. That what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's yeah.
There's lots of those already.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, there was such a cutting edge game last year, and it won all these awards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just cannot wait to see what they come up with next. And then I saw that, I'm like,
yeah, how do you go from something so original to something so
unoriginal?
Yeah, it's almost like some higher up with money said, no, you're gonna make one of these.
Yeah.
And then they did the best they could with it.
Higher up, maybe Microsoft.
Yeah, who knows? Something.
Yeah. Yeah, I was disappointed. I certainly hope it's not influenced from Microsoft buying them and saying this is what the games you're going to make now.
Well, true, but I mean, in a lot of ways, it could be a relief if that's why. Because, like you said, how do you be so creative and then nothing?
I know.
It would make me feel better about them being just a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. And maybe this will be good, but it just reeked of Overwatch and everything we've seen before. Speaking of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. they brought Keanu Reeves out on stage. I thought the internet was gonna break.
I know, me too.
Holy cow.
Yeah. and he had a hard time getting through what he needed to say.
Yeah.
There was so much cheering. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
Very unexpected.
Yeah, and I didn't know he was going to be in the game. Did you guys know he was going to be in the game? Yeah.
No,
Full surprise.
I haven't been paying much attention to the game, though, to be fair.
Did you? So, is this the first time we've seen the trailers then for the game?
Yeah.
And what did you think?
I think it looks cool. Visually, it looks very cool. I'm not drawn to it necessarily, but we'll wait to see till we know more.
Yeah, have either of you played The Witcher at all?
No.
Okay.
Nope, it's sitting on my shelf. I'll get to it someday. I just know it's such a big game, and so I don't want to start it until I know that I can, commit to it.
Yeah. No.
So that's the other thing. Yeah. Don't judge me, okay? Because I know you're the same. This is first person, and Witcher is third person, and it's just a personal preference of mine. I don't generally like first person games.
Me either. I like third person games too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I can see my surroundings a lot easier. It's so difficult when you're first person, and then you're like, I'm trying to reach for something and I can't get it.
Yeah, playing first person always feels like you're wearing blinders.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, so I'm hoping that maybe there's an option you can make it third person. I'm hoping.
Yeah, we'll see. Because
Skyrim was like that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, obviously a different studio. But I'm just saying Skyrim was like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Probably there's not a great deal of demand for it. Most people, I think, play first person and don't whine about it.
Yeah, probably.
It's just us being picky.
Yeah, us old people. No, I'm excited about this game. I think the thing I love about Project CD Red is the fact that they have a lot of really good storytelling. And I'm really excited to see what they do with this cyberpunk story. I don't know if you're sci-fi fans at all, but I don't know if you've read the books like Necromancer or not Necromancer, Neuromancer.
Yeah, I read Neuromancer.
Neuromancer is awesome. Clans of the Alphaean Moon. I don't know if you read that book at all, but that's really good. But all those things kind of tied into this Cyberpunk 2077, and that's what I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. Blade Runner, that looked so amazing. I know you guys are not fans of Blade Runner, are you?
You really want to get into that discussion?
It has the same effect as Z-Quill for me.
Oh yeah. My God.
The Blade Runner movie, boring. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, the book it's based on? Much better.
Yeah, I'm typically you're right. Retro Gift Monster tweeted, "The Outer Worlds, a Fallout New Vegas spiritual successor, and a game I have much been looking forward to, is going to be free on Xbox Game Pass." So yeah, they showed Outer Worlds at this conference as well. That looked really cool.
That looked interesting, especially considering how they announced it last year as more like a comedy type game. Yeah. At first I didn't think it was the same game because they took themselves a little bit more seriously this time.
Yeah. That looked cool. I mean, I think like both Cyberpunk and Outer Worlds, just like both of those games, just like I was like, oh my gosh, those look really awesome. Very excited about those games. But speaking of Game Pass, they really pushed their Game Pass during this press conference, didn't they?
Only $1.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I think that was at this conference where they announced the Ultimate Game Pass, where you can get the PC and the Xbox for $1. Guess what?
And Xbox Live, right?
Yeah, and Xbox Live.
Yeah.
I upgraded.
Did you get it, Roger?
Yeah, I did.
Even though we've talked in the past that you already don't play for the $10 subscription you already had.
I know, but it was $1, and I was like,
"How long is it $1?"
I don't know. See, this is a weird part because I've seen
You
other
need to read the
people-
fine print.
I know. Well, I thought it
No
was only
way
for
it's
1 month.
$1 forever.
It's probably $1 for the first month, and then
Yeah.
And it's
$14.99
for
each
every
additional month.
Yeah. And I think that's what I signed up for. At least that's what I thought I signed up for. But then I saw other people posting, "Oh, my subscription's gonna be $1 until like December of this year." And I'm like, wait, what? How's that
Oh,
possible?
I think I saw some of those too, but I think it's because they already had it. And then, like, so when they bought the $1, it, like, tacked on to the end of their existing subscription.
Oh. Interesting. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I would try it for $1, but I don't have time to play
Yeah.
any of those games.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I mean, I do think it's cool, but it's funny because then they're like, and was it Handsome Jack collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is going to be part of that game today. Like today, you can play it, and I'm like, well, I already have it on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, that's the thing is with all of these subscription streaming things, it's like you got to commit to a console because you could pay for all of them, but there's just no way that you're going to have time to get your money's worth out of all of them.
I know.
Yeah, had they done this like 15 years ago, I'd been all over it.
Yeah. But the technology wasn't there 15 years ago.
Right.
Probably...
Well, okay, let me say this. If I was 15 years younger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Because if I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now.
Stupid real life.
Yeah. The other thing that Microsoft announced is that now they went out and, I guess, gobbled up Double Fine Productions.
That's a good verb to use.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed more Psychonauts 2.
It looks so good. I'm so excited. They didn't have a release date, though.
No, they didn't.
But that's okay. I was concerned because Xbox was announcing, that they have the studio now, Double Fine, and then I was concerned that Psychonauts 2 is going to be Xbox exclusive. But you're saying that the studio announced on Twitter that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw. I saw that they tweeted out saying, "Don't worry, this is coming to other consoles as well." So that's what I saw. So I hope that's true. Because that would be.
Yeah. Oh, and side note, I saw that the what is it, limited productions or whatever, that is always putting out physical releases of limited run games. They're putting out now a PS4 of the first Psychonauts.
Oh, cool.
And I was just like, oh, I want it.
Yeah. Yeah, limited run games, I mean, they do a lot of really cool stuff.
But I mean, what I really want is the first Psychonauts on PlayStation 2, which is what it was released on. But I've never seen one of those just out in the real world. I think people must hold on to that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll check my retro shops if you're interested, if you want it.
If you see it, I will send you money for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it too. But I haven't seen it myself, so I think I agree with you, Blue. I think people hold on to that game, so. And then they announced the Project Scarlet. To me,
I'm not hating on Microsoft. It sounds like I'm hating on Microsoft, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I was so looking forward to seeing some actual information, not a slow wraparound, montage of pictures of it.
Yeah.
Or not even it, just like the word Scarlet.
Yeah. But on Inside Xbox the next day, on Monday, they were doing an interview with Phil Spencer, and he was talking about respecting gamers' purchases as far as making things backwards compatible and making them always available to you. And it might just be lip service. I want to see them actually do it as opposed to just say they are and try to make people happy. But it's nice that somebody is listening.
Yeah.
To the concerns of gamers.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, especially since they're really pushing the streaming service, right? So that's the weird thing to me. I heard some other people talking about this too. But it is a push of this streaming services, and like what gamers being like, I can't wait to play games on a streaming service.
Well, mostly not, because
Yeah.
then we have Stadia all over again.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
But I mean, they are pushing digital purchases because it saves
Yeah.
them money, but they
Yeah.
get to charge the same price.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
So yeah.
Yeah.
If they could alleviate people's concerns about their digital purchases disappearing, I imagine they'd make a heck of a lot more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just see this as another system that I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, because what did they say? It was like how many times faster than the Xbox One X? Like 4 times or something like that.
I don't remember.
It's gonna play in 8K TVs. Like, Christian would be all over that.
We already heard his thoughts on that.
I know. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's another $100. Oh, there's another $100. Oh, there's another $100. That thing's gonna be like $600, $700, $800 before it comes out.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, it might be $5.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
I think that, they want to sell them. They don't want to just price people out of it just because it's fancy.
Well, how much did the PlayStation 3 launch for?
$599 US.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 2006.
But it didn't sell anywhere near the number
I
of
know.
PlayStation 2s that they sold.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, I mean, you like to think that their, powers that be at all the various companies learn from their past releases about what works and what doesn't, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Some other feedback that we got from our listeners. From @RedOxPDX, they tweeted, "Am I the only one who liked how Battletoads looked? Also, I let my daughter watch the Phantasy Star trailer, and now she thinks it's going to be the greatest game ever."
I admit, I've never played it. It looked kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Although one must limit the number of RPGs that one can play in a
Oh my
lifetime.
gosh.
Yeah.
Just a side note, I speaking of RPGs and MMOs too, I follow Nintendo Life, and there was a post on there about DC Universe Online coming to the Switch, and I posted on there saying, is people really wanting MMOs coming to the Switch? I mean, that means you have to be tethered to the Wi-Fi to play this game, and everybody just jumped on me. What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't we want that? I'm like, okay.
You're asking the wrong question.
I know. Like I said, doesn't that kill the mobile aspect of the Switch if you have to be tied to the Wi-Fi all the time? What do you mean? There's buses, there's there's hotels, there's libraries, there's blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but I don't know. Seems weird.
Not all of us live in New York.
That's what I said.
So I'm not sure people in New York are aware of that.
Yeah, that's true.
That tiny towns exist across America.
Yeah, exactly. There's places outside of New York? Impossible. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that looked cool. And Battletoads, I mean, we talked about it, but I'm excited for it. It's going to be as hard as hell, just like the original one, but it'll be cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good game. Like I said, I don't know. It's just, it's going to take me a little bit to kind of get used to it.
Yeah. That looks. One other thing I'll say about Battletoads, it looks really busy.
Yeah.
Really busy, and I can't imagine playing 3 players.
Yeah. No, I don't even know how that's going to be possible.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to then Bethesda. They had their conference as well. And Pontastic tweeted. Well, Pontastic, you're right.
Prawn.
Oh, Prawn. I did forget the R, didn't I? Prawn, not Pawn. Prawntastic. They tweeted, so far would be Wolfenstein Youngblood, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Cyberpunk, and Watch Dogs. And then they said they can't wait for Nindy either. So, yeah, they were excited about the Wolfenstein Youngblood and then the Watch Dogs games that were and also with Bethesda. I thought the Watchdog game looked really cool.
Yes. That looked so
really cool.
good.
Didn't
like
it?
I had like absolutely zero expectations.
I
And
know,
then
me
they
too.
showed that extended gameplay where you've got, what was that guy's? They started with Ian or something like that. And then he goes, and then it's permadeath, and you're like, oh, I did not expect that. And then it switches to Helen, the old lady, and you're doing a mission with the old lady. And I was
know.
I am so sold on this.
I know, that looks really cool. And then I was watching a little bit after their conference, and they were talking about the game. And oh my gosh, like you can recruit anybody.
Yeah, when they said you can play as any NPC in the entire game, and everybody's like, "What? That's never gonna work. How's that gonna work?"
I know.
Like, well, I think it might work.
Yeah, that looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. I'm excited for the game, but one thing I will say that I was a little shocked by, that they dropped the F-bomb twice during their conversation about that game.
I don't remember.
They were just like saying, this is going to be so
Oh, no, you're right.
cool.
It was the French guys.
Yeah.
So I think they were playing with a bit of English swearing.
Yeah. And then I love the part of my French.
Ha ha ha. I see what you did there.
I get it, yeah.
But that looked good. I mean, it's interesting. Did you know? Oh, because then they mentioned Commander Keen. Mentioned that.
Commander Keen. I was so excited, and then I was so disappointed.
I know.
Oh, seriously. There was blowback every time somebody
Really?
announced a mobile game
Oh, yeah.
on Twitter. Everybody was like sharpening their pitchforks.
Oh, yeah, but the weird thing was, it's like Bethesda didn't realize that nobody wants mobile games because they're like, the future is in mobile gaming. And I'm like,
Is it though?
I don't think so.
Maybe in 2008.
Maybe on a Switch.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, they were like super excited about Commander Keen. But Commander Keen, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but he's actually related to the BJ Blazkowicz, is that his name?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
From Wolfenstein?
Yep. He's like
Huh?
his yeah. Look it up. It's really weird, but he's related to BJ Blazkowicz. Is it Wolfenstein or is it Doom? I don't remember.
Yeah, Doom is just Doom Guy. BJ is from Wolfenstein.
Okay.
I mean, they're both the same developers.
Yeah, that's true.
What an interesting family tree.
Yeah. And Blue, you would appreciate this. Mike, you probably don't care, but Commander Keen has a Green Bay Packer helmet.
What? Really?
Yeah, the original one. It is interesting that I looked up a little bit of lore of Commander Keen, but the lore is that his father, so their last name was Blazkowicz, and then his dad became a radio talk show host in Milwaukee, and then changed his name to Blaze. So that's why his name is Billy Blaze and not Billy Blazkowicz. They changed their last name to Blaze. Oh. And then he goes on adventures and he takes his brother's helmet, which is a Green Bay Packers helmet. But in the Commander Keen mobile game, his kids are not, I mean, they're wearing football helmets, but not Green Bay Packer helmets. They're just kind of generic.
Couldn't
I suppose
afford that license.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in a free-to-play game.
But yeah, if you ever look at Commander Keen, the old Commander Keen games, I mean, it's really hard to tell, but you can see there's a little bit of I mean, you saw that, right, Mike? I was streaming it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so there's a little bit of Green Bay Packer lore in Commander Keen.
I was so man, I really wish it would have been just like a good platformer, not some garbage mobile game. Oh, they bring back Commander Keen and that's how they do it. Boo.
I know. Agreed. Fallout 70. Fallout 76. First of all, you got to give them credit that they took one on the chin.
Yeah, just one?
Several, you're right. They manned up to it. They're like, we made mistakes.
Mistakes were made, yes.
Yeah. And but I mean, they're really trying to bring that game back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've already invested in it, not as much as they should have, but they've invested in it, and so they don't want to just, flush it down the toilet. They want to try to get something back out of it if they can.
Yeah. I did. I think I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but I certainly mentioned it afterwards. After the show, I did buy it for $16, and then I saw that all these updates. So I'm like, maybe this is worth the $16.
We'll see.
Yep.
No canvas bags though.
No canvas bags, not for $16. No way. Yep. But Mike, we'll have to play that sometime.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Speaking of mobile games, though, Elder Scrolls Blades. Yay!
Yay! I guess. I don't know.
And it's coming to the Switch too.
Yeah, I got nothing.
That was so weird.
I can't even muster up the strength to give some kind of witty pun or something like that.
But it's gonna be free. It's gonna be free, Mike.
That's great.
I'm still waiting for a free-to-play game to change my mind that they're not all terrible. Because so far, every single one that I've played confirms it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if you'd like. What is that one game that I was playing?
Must be good if you don't remember the name.
Yeah. Galaxy. You might like that game. I don't know. Maybe. And then Doom Eternal. They announced that as well.
That looked good. I like that.
That
looked
does
like
look
really
good.
crazy. That one looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that did look good. And then they announced their technology for streaming Orion. And then it was really weird how they announced that, because then they are like, Orion's gonna be like, well, first of all, they're like, we're groundbreaking. We brought you the first person shooter games, and we brought you the first open world games, and we're like, wow, yeah. And now we're gonna bring you a first again. I'm like, Battle Royale? And then they're like, we're bringing you Orion, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then they had some girl come out on stage playing Orion on her smartphone, or playing Doom Eternal, I should say, on her smartphone, or Doom. I don't know if it was Doom Eternal, but it was Doom. And then they had a camera guy like watching it. They're like, look at the streaming technology. It's amazing. I don't know. I mean,
it's, again, that kind of stuff you need to be tethered to Wi-Fi, and if you're for a decent connection, and if you're going to be that, why don't you just play your actual system if you're going to be in a Wi-Fi environment? Yeah.
The one argument that I've heard so far, that the reason why we should be excited about things like Orion and things about like Microsoft saying that they're working on their streaming platforms, is because then the games that come out, they can continue to use the technology, like as it gets better, they can continue to use that streaming technology, and you won't have to spend new money on hardware. It's going to be that streaming technology that will be able to push their games to the next level if they keep, building onto that streaming technology. Mm-hmm. And to me, I thought, okay, that kind of makes sense, right? Because then I don't have to say, oh man, I wish I had a better system so I can play better games. Like once they start moving everything to a streaming cloud-based service and streaming, game streaming like Orion does, like it's going to make us have better games in the long run. So
I gotcha.
That made sense to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
I'm not buying it. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Any other thoughts with Bethesda before we move on to Nintendo?
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam?
Right? That was during the Bethesda conference, right?
Flintstones?
No, the dog.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
The Walking Dead guy.
Wait, was that or Ubisoft? I don't remember.
Oh, maybe it was Ubisoft. You're right.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, but anyway, he came out with his blue nose pit bull, and just because, just like, hey, this is Bam Bam, and he's just sitting there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have just a little bit of Bethesda. I mean, Ubisoft and Square Enix a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Blue, stop jumping the gun. I'm just kidding.
Well, sorry, I forgot which conference it was.
I know, because they do kind of
start to
meld
run together after
a
while.
Yeah.
They all kind of look the same. Although you don't have it on here, but Was it Devolver Digital?
Yes. Oh, I
Those
forgot
are
to
always
put that.
funny.
Yes.
Those are always
Yeah,
hilarious.
the RoboCop
Oh
parody.
my
That was
gosh.
really funny.
That was
Mhm.
so
It is,
weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is not for sensitive audiences, but
Hmm.
it was really funny.
Yeah, and then the other one I didn't add on here either was the kind of funny conference. Did you guys watch that at all?
No.
No.
Oh, if you get a chance, you should watch it because it was just game after game after game after game after game. I mean, it was just. So they wanted to have a conference for like the medium to indie studios, right? That don't have the ability to have like like a big stage like Bethesda or Ubisoft and those folks, but it was pretty cool. I was just like bombarded with tons of games, but they mentioned the Trials of Fire on that, Mike. So, moving on then to Nintendo Direct. I'll just start off here. Geek with that tweeted, "I'm still processing all of it, especially the Nintendo Direct we just had. I'm excited for about 70 to 80% of what I saw on most conferences as well." Haha. And then Gamer Kratos tweeted, "Dragon Quest and Smash made me go crazy." So what were your thoughts on Nintendo's Direct?
Well, go ahead, Blue.
I was just gonna say that Luigi's Mansion looks real cute.
Oh, doesn't it? It looks really good.
With Gooigi, that's funny.
Yes. Oh, it looks so good. I am super excited for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the first two, so I'm really excited for this third one as well.
Yeah. Just to give you a heads up, I pre-ordered $350 worth of stuff.
Good
my-
lord.
You did not, did you really?
I did.
You did not.
I did.
Okay, what'd you
Not joking.
pre-order then?
Yeah,
So-
what did you pre-order?
Well, so I still have my Best Buy Gamers Club,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have that till probably I think December. So I need to make sure that for my discount, I'm pre-ordering whatever I can. So I pre-ordered Pokemon Sword and Shield,
Both of them?
both of them.
Oh, jeez.
I pre-ordered Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
I pre-ordered Animal Crossing.
Okay.
I pre-ordered Contra.
Okay.
Okay.
I pre-ordered all 4 Amiibo, and I think that was it.
Is that all?
That's $350. I guess.
Well, yeah,
it's
because yeah,
probably-
$60 times 5 games,
Mm-hmm.
or it's technically 50. So yeah,
So, what did you think of that Contra game?
it's Contra.
It looks bad.
You look bad.
I know. I do look bad all the time, but I mean,
Well,
I'm
that's okay
sorry.
because Mike can test it for us and tell us.
yeah, that's
Yeah, there
right,
we go.
Mike.
You want to
Yeah.
review or not, Roger?
Mike, it could be just, this will be your Fallout 76.
Yeah, this will be this year's Fallout 76. But hey, it's only
Yeah.
$40, which for a Konami game is very surprising.
Actually, that is, because I think the Konami collection that also came out at the Direct
hmm
might be like $40. I'm not sure.
The Contra collection, I think it's 20.
Is it 20?
The
Okay.
Castlevania one's 20.
Oh yeah, you're
So
right.
is the other arcade one.
Yeah, no, I was thinking. You know what? When I was thinking of the Trials of Man or the
Collection
Mana.
of Mana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
collection
of
they're
mana.
like, oh, it's available today. And I was like, and I ran to the eShop and went, whoa,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah. Although Mega Retro Man tweeted, "Did I get my wish? Yes. U.S. release of Collection of Mana with an HD remastered of Seiken Densetsu 3, which is Trials of Mana." My heart is full of happiness. So yeah, I did the same thing, Blue. I was like, oh, I gotta go get the. Oh no, not for $40.
Oh,
I'm not.
never mind. Yeah, and because it's Nintendo, it probably ain't never going on
know.
sale.
I know. But then right now they do have quite a bit going on for sales. But I mean, yeah, not this new stuff. So, I was a little disappointed. I mean, okay, so the new Contra game, I didn't understand why there's a panda in it.
Yeah, that part didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I figured in that universe, I'm sure they'll find a way.
And
Yeah.
I was disappointed it wasn't. It was like it was like the PlayStation 2, was it? Like they had a Contra game for the PlayStation 2, I think. It reminded me of that, and I was like, I want just a side-scrolling Contra game that looks good, not this.
Yeah.
Stop innovating, Roger
Yeah,
says.
I know,
Go back
I
to
know.
what you're good at.
Exactly.
Give him a chance to explain the panda. You don't know.
Yeah.
Could make all the sense in the world.
It could.
It just looks so weird. It didn't look like Contra. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. It didn't. Yeah, because if it looked like Contra at the very beginning, you would have been like, "Oh, that's Contra."
Yeah. I was kind of like, is this Contra? No, this is not Contra. Is this Contra? No, this is not Contra. It has a panda. It's not Contra. And it just looks so busy and kind of, I mean, sounds weird, but kind of dirty looking. Like not
No,
like.
I'll agree with that. It did look kind of muddy.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Muddy. Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. The other thing that I'm a little worried about, that I think is going to be kind of muddy too, The Witcher 3 coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're fitting it all on one card, unlike the Spyro collection.
Yeah, that's true.
How is that possible?
I don't know. See, that's the thing that's what makes me worried. So Christian and I talked about that the next day after that conference. Actually, I took lunch and I was watching the conference, and then we talked about it. And I said, "Witcher 3 coming to Switch," and he said, "What was it? Digital Foundry did some kind of digging into like the specs of could you bring The Witcher 3 to the Switch?" And they said that. What did he say? He said, "Boy, they had to really condense it down just to make it look good on like how do you say, like based on like this how much like a Switch cartridge could be on there." He said it looked like a PlayStation 2. This is what Digital Foundry said, that the graphics looked PlayStation 2-ish, and it just didn't look very good, and it just didn't run very well. And he's like, I have no idea. But this is also CD Projekt Red, which I don't think they would do something like this unless they could make it work well. So I don't know.
We'll just have to wait and see what the gameplay looks like once people are actually playing it. But it makes me happy that I got the whole game with all the DLCs for $10 on Black Friday.
Oh wow, that's a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still sitting on your shelf.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But
it looks nice up there.
It does look nice up there, and when I put it in my PlayStation, it will also look nice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. And that's funny that you say that, because you bought it for $10, and I bet you this game comes out for $60 on the Switch.
On the Switch? No, I thought it was cheaper than that.
Really?
I mean, I could be wrong.
I didn't see a price. I'm just guessing.
It's not a Resident Evil game. I mean,
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And then go ahead.
I was just saying, I also forgot I pre-ordered Link's Awakening too.
Oh yeah, that looked really good.
That does. That looks really cute.
I know. And then the amiibo, I'm like, I need to get that.
Yep, I got that one pre-ordered. Yep. By the way, Best Buy has Witcher 3 $59.99 for the Switch.
Oh,
good lord.
That game better run really, really well on the Switch for $60, because that could leave some really bad taste. So I mean, kind of comparing it, I'm playing right now. I'm playing Assassin's Creed 3 on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't run very well.
That's what I've been hearing.
And I'm not one for frame rates at all. Like that's more a Christian's thing, right?
Unless they're really bad. And they're not. It's not game breaking bad, but there are times where I'm like, I had to chase down a guy, and like the frame rates are just so bad that things pop up in front of me that I'm like, how did that guy get there? Mm-hmm.
They need to reincorporate the N64 fog effect.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, it was and I mean, I will say, like, Assassin's Creed 3 is no Witcher 3, that's for sure.
Was it on the PlayStation 3 first?
The Witcher, I think 1 and 2 were, right?
Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, Assassin's Creed, yeah. Assassin's Creed 3 was on the PlayStation 3.
It'd be interesting to see.
That's good.
I'm sure somebody out there has done it, comparing the PS3 visuals with the Switch ones.
Yeah. but that just makes me really nervous for Witcher 3.
Well,
sure.
It's not our problem.
That's true.
We already have it.
That's true. That is true. Although, I mean, they got Skyrim to work on a Switch, so yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yep.
And then the announcements for DLC for Smash.
Yeah.
So I know that there are people out there that are really excited for the, Gamer Kratos being one of them, the Dragon Quest characters in Smash. I was just kind of like, okay, that's cool.
Do you play the Dragon Quest games, though?
I do like Dragon Quest, but I don't, and I like Fire Emblem too, but I just feel like they're kind of the same characters.
That's what I was saying. And saying, oh, good, this is just what Smash needs is another character with a sword.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't think that was genuine.
You're able to pick that up? Oh, man.
But then it was cool to see Banjo-Kazooie in the DLC. That was cool. And all the rare characters. So it was interesting because Microsoft earlier that day, or maybe it was Sunday, tweeted, like, here's a schedule of things you should pay attention to in E3. And obviously they're all Microsoft conferences except for Nintendo. They mentioned Nintendo Directs. And there was a lot of speculation what that meant. And that's why they mentioned it, because they own Rare. So
now we know.
And now we know. I know there's still speculation that they're going to bring Game Pass to the Switch. I don't know.
I
won't have time to play it there either.
Yeah.
Is that part of my $1 a month package? And then the other game was the one that I think we were all waiting for, is Animal Crossing.
I was so excited, and then I was so angry, but then I was so understanding.
Yeah,
Wait,
did you see that?
Because it's delayed?
Yeah.
Did you see that their stocks dropped by $1 billion? Or
was it a billion yen? I think
billion yen was a billion yen. Okay, so they say $1 billion seems like a lot. Okay, billion yen, but still it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Nintendo came out, and this I thought was awesome. They came out and said, you know what? Our employees' work-life balance is more important than a delivery date.
And that to me, I was a lot more understanding of that. I'm like, okay, that makes.
If I own Nintendo stock, I wouldn't sell it over something like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Me either. I mean, it's dumb.
But then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, you know what? Really, this is, if you really look at it, because they announced 2019, this is at its worst a 3-month delay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they just said 2019. So
that's okay. It'll be a Christmas present for you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna pick that up when it comes out.
Yeah. I guess I was expecting a little bit more. But
I'm sure we'll get more. I'm sure we'll get a lot more, because they want to focus on what's coming out for the rest of the year. Then it's going to get its own direct, probably in January.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And then we'll learn all the new things about it.
I was disappointed we didn't see anything about Metroid.
Well, that's forever away.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted a trilogy remaster, but...
That's what I was hoping for.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Was there anything else that was big in Nintendo that they announced?
Oh, let's see. No More Heroes 3 was announced.
Yeah, that's right.
That looked interesting. That Astral Chain looked a lot. So I was a little more interested in that.
Yeah.
That definitely looks interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about controlling 2 characters. I want to be assured that it's not going to be annoying.
Yeah.
But it does look very cool.
Who was making that game? I remember seeing it and I was surprised, but now I forgot who it was.
It looks like Nier Automata.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe is it that same studio?
I don't know. While I look that up, I guess
Platinum Games is
Platinum
the dev.
Games. Yeah, that was it. See, Platinum Games, that's what made me a little worried, because Platinum Games are hit or miss for me. Like, they did a good job.
You don't like Bayonetta?
No, I think they did a good job with Bayonetta, but then they came up with that Turtles game that was not good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe it's because this new IP will be cool.
I will
It
see.
did look cool. And then we have Square Enix and Ubisoft. Ubisoft, I just kind of lumped those together. So New Pants, GNU Pants, tweeted, Dark Souls Final Fantasy 7 Edition looks pretty sweet.
I know that's the one that everybody's been waiting for, was more news on Final Fantasy 7. It looks good, though.
It does.
It looks good enough to, like, persuade you that the episodic way that they're going to release it is okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's okay. I'll buy it anyway because it looks so good.
Yeah. What else did they show? Oh, they showed some Dragon Quest game coming to the Switch.
Yeah,
right?
Final Fantasy 8.
Final Fantasy 8.
I think some Crystal Chronicles. And,
yeah, Crystal Chronicles, and then some new stuff for their online game.
14. Right? Yeah, there's a new DLC pack for 14.
Yeah,
and
let's not forget the Avengers.
Oh yeah. You know what?
I'm glad that I was not going to play that anyway.
They look so weird, and okay. So here's the thing: people are giving them crap about not looking like the MCU characters. That's not right. Like, you're really paying money to get those likenesses, and plus they're comic book characters before they were movie characters. So, but even still, they don't look like
Captain America looks weird.
Characters. They're too bulky.
Yeah. No, Captain America.
Wait, I'm sorry. The superheroes are too bulky.
Okay, they absolutely. I'll say that Iron Man or Tony Stark is not a bulky guy.
No, that's true.
Even Captain America, like he's not thick.
He looked weird.
He did. He looked weird. Yeah.
He looked really weird. And then we didn't see any really gameplay.
Yeah.
It was all just like trailers. I'm not sold on that game yet. I'm more excited for the Ultimate Alliance, which also they showed more during the Nintendo one. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, I was excited. Yeah, I even watched the Treehouse when they did the half an hour of Ultimate Alliance, and it looked really good.
It does look really good. Yeah, I'm not convinced on the Square Enix one yet. I don't know. It didn't jump out at me and said, "Oh yeah, I need to get this game." Mm-hmm. And I mean, like Mike, I think you and we both are the same. We love our comic book characters or superhero games, but
yeah, they just kind of looked soulless.
Yeah.
Yes, like those creepy eyes, like from the PS2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an uncanny valley thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool that they announced like all the voice actors. That was kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. I think they were trying to say, no, it's going to be good. It's not the actors that you know from the movies, but look, we have these cool people and there are humans behind it, and you should like it.
You know what, Blue? That's exactly what I got out of that too. I'm like, they're a little worried that this is gonna be bad. That's why they brought no. Look, it's gonna be good. Look at all these actors. Look, these are voice actors. Like that's exactly
nerds
what I got
do
too.
Like their voice actors. So.
I know, but I think you're right, Blue. That's the way it felt to me too. Was like, oh, don't worry, it's gonna be good. Look, see.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, nobody saw any gameplay.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah.
Square Enix is usually pretty solid. I'm not gonna say always, but I'm gonna say usually solid on their gameplay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They did show off more of the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, that'll be cool.
That'd be cool. And what else did they show that stood out for me?
They're just really working on, it looks like, updating all of their past RPG library.
Yeah.
And bringing them forward to the modern consoles.
Yeah. It was interesting.
The other thing they announced is that all the Final Fantasy soundtracks are now available on music streaming, which is cool. I've been listening to those all week.
Yeah. That was a cute commercial too, I thought.
It definitely didn't go how you thought it was going to.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, did you think though? I think it was a Square Enix one. Did you feel the weird thing was to me like it's so weird. You watch the Xbox one and people are like going crazy and cheering, right? Like I thought that was kind of weird, but then you watch the Square Enix one and like I don't know, like it reminded me very much of like the Nintendo when they launched the Nintendo Switch when they came up with that big conference a couple years ago. Remember when they were announcing the Nintendo Switch, and like it was just like dead quiet, and like people are just sitting there like, don't say anything, just listen.
I think it's a different crowd, though. I mean, if you think about who the Xbox audience is, I mean, it's very American, it's very rowdy.
Yeah. That's true.
And Square Enix is a very proper Japanese company, so
that's true. That's funny that you say that because I think of Xbox. I associate Xbox with Mountain Dew and Doritos, but I think partly because that Master Chief is on Xbox is on Doritos and boxes of Mountain Dew. But I think you're right. I think that's a good point. And then Ubisoft. Okay, so we talked about Watch Dogs too. I thought that looked good. But you guys, did you hear this? That they're bringing Just Dance 2020 to the Nintendo Wii.
It's still selling.
What?
All right then.
Yeah, you know what? They have to be making money on it, otherwise they wouldn't bring it to the Wii, right?
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That was a long part of the conference.
The Just Dance?
Yeah, bringing all those dancers out for like however many songs that they sampled in their dance.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see all of Ubisoft, so I only caught like towards the end, but so I'm kind of glad I missed that part.
I was like, yeah, okay, what's this have to do with anything? Okay.
But didn't they do that last year too? They had like dancing pandas. Dancing pandas. Maybe that's where Konami gets that idea from.
It's a crossover.
Yeah, it's a crossover. Do you guys have any other thoughts on Ubisoft or Square Enix at all?
I think Square Enix was mostly nostalgia.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, it was hard to be upset about it.
Yeah. But they didn't mention anything, or did they? I don't think they mentioned the Trials of Mana at their conference, right? I think they saved that for Nintendo's conference. Am I right, or did I miss that they did mention Trials of Mana?
I think that was just at the Nintendo conference.
Okay.
I think you're right.
So that was kind of cool that they allowed that to happen there.
But then they're also doing Final Fantasy VIII is on the Switch now. Or
That's true. That's true.
So it'd be 7, 8, 9, 10, and X2, and 12.
Yeah, I wish that they. Well,
all
I mean,
on the Switch.
They had 6 on that Super NES Classic, but I would like to see 6 come to the Switch too.
Well, the way they're going.
Yeah, that's true. 6 is really good. Like 6, I think 6 and 7 were my favorite Final Fantasy games. Although I really liked, what was that one that was kind of like Star Wars? Was that 9?
12, you mean?
12? Is it 12?
Well, I don't know what you mean by kind of like Star Wars.
Well, like there was like it was open world, so it was kind of like World of Warcraft, where you could like, target different characters.
Not traditionally turn based.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 12.
Was it 12? Okay. Yeah, I like that one too. Because and the reason I said Star Wars because there's like a pilot character with like a not a Wookiee, but he had like a co-pilot. He's kind of like Han Solo. Your main character is kind of like Luke Skywalker, kind of, I think.
Kind of, but more annoying.
Yeah. Wait, who is the main character or Luke?
The main character, Vaughn. Oh, okay. Vaughn is like top 2 most annoying Final Fantasy characters ever. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, I guess. Yep. That will be an icebreaker in the future. So who do you think were who do you think was overall winner at this E3?
I think to say that just depends completely on what type of games you were looking for.
Yeah.
I think if you love first-person shooters, this was your year.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Winner, I don't know, Sony. I think this is a lot of people will agree this has just been kind of a meh E3. Just like the whole thing was just like, it wasn't unbelievable, but it wasn't junk. It was just like typical E3, and Sony's like, you know what, we're gonna step out of this and we're gonna do our own thing. I don't know. I honestly, I was happy with a lot of the stuff in the Nintendo Direct, but again, as a self-proclaimed Nintendo fanboy, I don't want to let my bias get the best of me.
Yeah, it's hard to be neutral when
Yeah.
proclaiming who won.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I kind of thought the same thing, that, even though Sony wasn't there, I don't know if anybody like came out and was like able to like steal the show, and that Sony would have been like, oh, I wish we were there.
Yeah.
Like, that was terrible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really expected, I mean, not that Xbox did bad, because I think that they actually had a pretty good showing.
Yeah, but they did so many games
Yeah.
that, like, how many can you remember? Maybe 3 or 4?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we all know Cyberpunk 2077 is not going to be just on the Xbox. And we know that like Final Fantasy VII Remake is not going to be, well, is that going to be just an exclusive for the PlayStation? Or is that coming to other places too?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know why I'm thinking PC as well, but I think it's just PlayStation 4.
I think so too. So I mean, that was kind of a feather in their cap, and they didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and yeah, there was just nothing. I mean, I really like Nintendo too. I think that they did a really good job with that they had, but I don't feel like it was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing ever.
Right.
I can't believe it.
Nothing blew me away. Not even the Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. I was like, oh, okay, good. It's in development. Well, we'll see when that happens.
Yeah, we'll see it in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, that's okay. Take your time and make it awesome.
Yeah.
Like I think I said to somebody, I think I said it would be a launch title for the Super Switch.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it's called.
That would be awesome.
The Super Switch.
I feel like Ubisoft did well with their conference and the Watch Dogs 2. I thought that was like probably that was the one game that was the dark horse for me. I did not expect to be so excited about that game. Yeah,
that's probably true. Like I said, I had 0 expectations for it, and then it was like, whoa, okay, now you have my attention.
Yeah. And I said last week that Bethesda really has to do a good job this conference. And I'm not saying that they did a bad job, but there was nothing that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. You did it, Bethesda. You came back.
All is forgiven.
Yeah. I mean, I will give them kudos. Like I said, that they stepped up and said, yeah, Fallout 76, we heard you. We listened. And they did. I mean, give them credit for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they come out with Commander Keen on mobile, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Was there any like losers? Anything that stood out and like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. I can't believe
Commander Keen.
Commander Keen. Yeah.
Cool. I can't think. No, I think a lot of it was just, to me, was just mediocre. I don't think a real like. I mean, it wasn't like a Jamie Kennedy style interview. I don't know if you remember from that E3.
Yeah. Yes.
Or anything like that. I just think everything was just kind of forgettable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you know? Well, I will say one loser that came out of this. Did you guys hear this? Dr. Disrespect, is that his name? The streamer?
I don't know who that is.
Apparently he's this famous streamer, and he decided that he was gonna go stream in the bathroom.
Oh, nice.
And he's doing an in real life video. And I guess it's a pretty big crime in California to be streaming in a bathroom, I guess.
Just in California.
What isn't a big crime in California?
Yeah, that's true. But smoking pot, I think.
You know what I say? You know what I'll say was the loser was, there was some jerk during the Square Enix show that would just go ballistic at every single thing so he could probably hear his own voice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so annoying. It's like Square's like, welcome to E3, and this guy would just immediately jump out in front of everybody, just scream as loud as he could. Like, dude, really? Like,
yeah.
Go find a news crew and just hang out in the background or something.
He wanted to be the "you're breathtaking" guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like I'm not one that says you have to follow certain protocol, right? Like I know I think Alana Pierce posted tweeted out saying like there are people that go to E3, they're like, "Oh, you're wearing a video game shirt? Like you're here, you shouldn't be wearing video game shirts. You should be more professional than that." And it's like, well, we're video game fans
Why?
too. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, well, because they're like, "Oh, you should be professional." And I'm not.
Why? It's video games. You're not at the White House.
I know. I agree. But I mean, I do think though that there are some people that just act like Dr. Disrespect. This guy that that's streaming in the bathroom. I'm like, come on, like you get invited to an event like this. Don't.
Yeah, the rest of us would die to be there.
I know exactly.
Yeah. Whatever.
So that was my point too. Like
people gonna be people.
Yeah. The guy that was screaming just to hear himself screaming, like I get it, but come on, like some of us would really like to be there. Like
maybe he just really loves Square Enix.
Or that maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah. But Dr. Disrespect, his Twitch channel is taken off. By the way, Twitch kind of canceled his Twitter channel. So.
Well, it's such a big loss to the community.
Yeah, I know. Well,
gone before I even knew who he was.
Were you gonna say something else, Blue? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I was just gonna say when I think about the highlights of this E3, they don't really have anything to do with the games.
Yeah.
Like I mean, seeing Keanu Reeves on stage.
Yeah.
That it did have to do with Cyberpunk 2077, but it was still very cool and unexpected.
Yeah.
Bam Bam, like I said.
Yeah.
Cool and unexpected. He's just up there chilling.
Yeah.
And if you want to ask whose presentation that I enjoyed the most, it was Devolver Digital, and I'm not sure I could tell you any of the games they announced.
Yeah.
I just liked the way that they did it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it was. It was interesting.
Are we just spoiled and jaded as gamers now?
So, yeah.
That we get 200 new games thrown at us in the span of like 3 days, and we're all like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I know, and I think you're right. I mean, like to me, I think like some of the cooler moments for me were like the Treehouse events, not so much like the conference itself.
Oh man. I watched a thing, I think it was IGN, was showing their 16 minutes worth of gameplay of the Hollow Knight sequel, Silksong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks good, you guys. It looks so good.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so, Blue, this weekend, I'll stream Hollow Knight, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to stream it. I'm going to play. I'm going to play some more of it.
DM me when you do it, and I'll pop on.
And then you can help me, because I'll get lost for sure. But I'll stream that.
Okay.
I also want to stream. I did pick up. So we'll move into what we're currently playing. I did pick up Cadence of Hyrule, and I was telling you guys about it. That game's really good.
It sounds so weird.
It's so good.
Very confusing.
It's so good.
The Necrodancer is on sale for like $4 now or something like ridiculous like that.
I gotta get it now because it's really good. I really like it a lot. It's really good. It's cute. Like it's. I was telling Mike this that during the break there for a moment. I was telling him that what I really like about it is that Nintendo allowed this indie studio to take one of their their established IPs and play with it, and it's really cool. I've only played a little bit of it so far, but it reminds me of like Link to the Past, like the original Link to the Past, but it's like the music is really rhythmic and really good.
Rhythmic.
Is that a band? Rhythmatics or something like that?
I think you're thinking asthmatic.
I think you're thinking of the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But no, it's really good, and I mean it's interesting. Like you have to like watch the dancing patterns of your enemies, and then attack them. Like it's just, I like it a lot. It's weird. You're right. It is a little strange, but it's fun. I'm like, you just start you get into the groove and you start moving a character to the music. It's really interesting.
Cool.
I'm really bad at rhythm games. Maybe that's why I can't wrap my head around it.
Oh, but I don't mean like this is different than some other rhythm games. I think you should try it. I mean, I don't know, but it's a little expensive. It's $25.
That's too much of a risk for $25 for a game that I may just end up completely being horrible at.
I'll tell you what. So, if I have time Saturday morning for the Saturday morning serial, I'll stream it then.
Stream that so early.
I know.
That's why I never watch your Saturday morning serial.
I know. Well, I have to stream it before anybody else is up.
I mean, I get it, but it's my Saturday too.
Yeah, no, I know. And actually, this Saturday might be a little tough because it's my daughter's birthday. She turns 8.
Aww. Happy birthday, Ellie.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. So we're having a birthday party for her, so I might have to do stuff for that. But if I get up before anybody else,
you can always hide in the bathroom.
I try.
No law against it in your own bathroom.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. That's true. But I'll try streaming that, and I'll stream Hollow Knight sometime this weekend. So I'll let you know, Blue.
Okay.
And then the other game that I've been playing is Assassin's Creed 3. I kind of mentioned that already. Here's the thing. Like, I haven't played Assassin's Creed 3 before. I thought I owned it. I might own it on the PlayStation 3. But it's like, again, one of those games that's in my catalog, but I haven't played ever. And I played, I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and this is one that I've always wanted to play. And then we were lucky enough to get a review code from Ubisoft. So I've been playing through it. And like a lot of people will say this is not their favorite story game, but I actually really like the story a lot. I actually think it's very interesting. And, there's some plot twists in the game that I'm not going to mention. Well, I mean, it's an old game. I'm sure most people know the plot twists already if you haven't played it. But the thing that I think the challenging part is that on a Switch, like I said, I'm not one to be like, oh, frame rates, like, oh, like I can't stand if it's not 60 or more or whatever the case is. But this right. one, it's rough. It's a little rough. There's times where like one of my characters like killed somebody that disappeared. They just disappeared. I'm like, what happened there? So, and then I did finish up my review of Kododama, The 7 Mysteries of Fujisawa.
Yes.
So, I went back to the game.
Oh,
play some
that
more.
Was brave of you.
And my save file was gone. It just was gone.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
So you can read my review. I mean, that to me, I think was the biggest part of it broken is the fact that it didn't save. And I was, I was far enough that I was really upset about it because I put in quite a bit of time in that one sitting and it was all gone. I'm not doing that again. So
what was the final grade that you gave it?
I gave it a D.
Oh, that was generous.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think the story could be really interesting. I liked the story. I think it was kind of cool, but just that whole playing Bejeweled and stripping girls down to their... Well, and not only girls. There's guys, too. I shouldn't say just girls, but stripping...
Equal opportunity stripping.
Yeah, exactly. It just felt weird. And it just wasn't a game for me. So I tried to be objective, but then it's hard for me to be objective when you're stripping clothes off of people. So, but that's what I've been playing. Blue, what have you been playing?
So I've spent quite a bit more time this week with Super Cane Magic.
Yeah.
I hate this game right now.
Really?
I'm just gonna be honest. I hate it.
So it's funny because when we first started talking about it, you're like, "Wow, this is interesting." Like Pop-Tart Kingdom or something like that, right?
No, it's Pop-Tart Academy.
Oh,
So it's a play on Hogwarts Pop-Tarts.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's why I have to go rescue the Pop-Tarts wizards and
okay.
stuff like that. So
okay.
So I've opened up some new map areas in this planet. The planet's called WOTF. I don't know what it stands for, but that's what the planet's called.
Okay.
And so then all the enemies are based in elements. So you've got ice and fire and I guess it's poison? I don't know, goo, something, green, whatever. So when you first start the game, they're just regular run-of-the-mill enemies that like don't have an element to them. So you can kill them with your sword and you're going to be okay. And then the next several locations that I've been to all have fire enemies. And so the thing with the fire enemies is if you hit them with your sword, there's this burst of flame that comes out and it stuns you. And then you have to sit there and push a button real fast, like, I don't know, like 15 times or something to get up. And it happens constantly. Because even if you're not stupid enough to run up and hit an enemy with your sword, they're shooting fireballs at you.
Oh.
And it gets to the point where, okay, I'll back up, because you come into an area and there'll be this pit on the ground and it will spawn enemies. And then you can't just kill them. You've got to find a rock and stun one of them, and then you can go and pick it up and throw it at the others, and it will damage the others, and you have to repeat this like 10 times, this sequence. But in the meantime, they're all shooting fireballs at you, so you're running for your life, and the pit in the ground is continuing to spawn enemies. So it's not very long before it gets to be just ridiculous. Like, there's this horde of like 25 fire enemies chasing you with fireballs and everything. And then even when you manage to like get a little, because if you can kill one of them, it will explode and will do damage to the others. And so even when you get on a little bit of a roll with your damage and you can start to make some headway in this giant horde of enemies, there are also fire wizards in there that are healing everybody faster than you could damage them. It's just insane. And so eventually it gets to the point where like you don't have any choice. You just have to run. And so then you'll go to like the next room in the dungeon, and do you think that they gate themselves at the room of that first room? No, they don't stop at the door. They follow you into the second room, which has the exact same problem as the first room, with the enemies that are spawning faster than you can kill them. And so it's just, I've never played a game before that was so brutally unforgiving.
Wow.
And I know that this is meant to be played with more than one person.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, that's okay, because I'm by myself. I'm just going to have to level up, and I'm going to have to try a little bit harder, and eventually I'll get there. Oh, no. As soon as you level up to a certain point, the game announces that because your magic level has risen, that the difficulty of the enemies is rising to match it. So you can never get ahead of the curve.
Wow.
And it's just, I'm completely stuck. Like today I played for 4 hours and got exactly nowhere.
Wow. Can you destroy these spawn points where they're coming out of, or no?
Some of them you can, but the ones that come out of the ground I've not found a way to.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, it feels to me like really poor game design.
Yeah,
like it's just so unfair. There's no way to do it. It's not even if you have a different strategy. It's just like there's literally no way to do it.
Yeah. It sounds like they didn't scale it based on how many people are playing. They're just like, you'll have 4 people playing it, so we'll just put in as many bad guys. Something.
I don't know. At this point, I'm completely stuck and I hate it.
Wow.
And the thing is that there's so much going on the screen because I can't kill the enemies fast enough. Yeah. So there's a gazillion enemies. They're all shooting fireballs, and the wizards are healing people in their spells. And so it's absolute chaos on the screen, and the Switch can't handle it.
So that was going to be my next question, how the performance handles.
Yep, we are lagging and dropping frames left and right.
Wow. That's difficult. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Which adds to your frustration.
Which adds to my frustration. And then also, you can't save.
What?
Remember? Like I talked about last week, there's no way to manually save.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
and so it's like if I have 10 minutes, I can't just pop on and play.
Yeah,
You have to
that's
set
crap.
aside a big chunk of time because these are, I guess they're not huge dungeons, but they take a long time because I'm by myself against hordes of fireball enemies. And so it's, yeah.
That seems like really anti-Switch, too. I mean, like, really anti-design behind the Switch, because I think a lot of people, well, okay, I think you probably, I know that you don't play in handheld mode a whole lot, and I think, Mike, you do, right?
Oh, yeah, I prefer that.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's the design, right? That you can be able to take it and go on the go, and then there'll be times where you're on the go and like, oh, I can play for 10 minutes and then I gotta put away. It seems like that's really like not taking advantage of the fact that people want to play this game mobile.
Well, they seem to be pretty clear in, I mean, they say that the game is from 1 to 4 players, but in the actual execution of it, I think that I don't see how one person can do it.
Yeah. Ugh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah. So if that's the case, you're not taking it on the go anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I wish that if that was their intention, I don't know, maybe they never tested it single player. But
maybe.
If that was their intention, I wish they would just say 2 to 4 players.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh, that's tough.
So anyway.
Have you played anything else?
Yeah, I tried Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
you like it?
I like. That I like a lot.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's so, just the controls feel very smooth and natural. I love how it looks. It's got that old retro NES look, but at the same time, there's so much depth to it because of how they've done the layers in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I really like having all the different characters and being able to switch between their abilities.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, and the music is so good.
Yeah. I heard, I haven't tried this, but I heard that you could not take the characters with you when you get to the end of the level, you can choose not to take them with you.
Yeah,
you can?
From what I understand, what I heard too is that, you could choose to actually kill them.
Yeah.
And it grants you more power, and it also changes up the ending.
Yeah.
Can you do that in your first playthrough, or you have to do
it?
Because I don't recall there being an option for that.
I don't think it gives you the option. You could just, somebody discovered it.
Yeah, somebody just did it.
How? I thought, because when you're reading the dialogue boxes where they're talking to the new character, you're frozen. At what opportunity would you have to kill them?
Isn't there something where it says something? It's been a while since I played this game.
No, it's true. But... You can kill. Yeah, no, you can.
But I don't doubt it. I'm just how.
There's something with when they offer you the orb or something like that. I thought, right?
I didn't think they offered you anything. There was no yes or no.
No, it's not a yes or no option. You actually have to do it.
Yeah, but how?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know that
there's a dialogue box where you can't move, and then they're with you.
Yeah, I have to play it again. I don't remember. But I know I read that somewhere too, that you can kill them and just take their power, and then they're not with you.
Well, I know somebody, when I said earlier this week that I was playing it, somebody said make sure you play it twice because the second time you'll get the real ending.
Oh, really?
So I'm still thinking that what you're saying is possible on the second playthrough.
Maybe.
Possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll have to play it again. Mike, you beat that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't even know you could when I played it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I selected all the I was sorry that the vampire character is really powerful, so I was gonna take that. There's no way I'm gonna take that character.
Yeah.
Alucard is my favorite character in the Castlevania series, so I was really excited to play.
More than the Belmonts?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I like Alucard's background, and I don't know. This is dumb, but when I was a kid, I always thought it was really cool that it's Dracula spelled backwards. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That's so unique. And I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, that's not that cool, but.
Like, cool. they didn't work very hard on that one.
Oh, I know, but it just sounds like a cool name too, like Alucard. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool name. So I was, but I think Christian was mentioning this. It's a separate developer group that made that game versus the one that's making Blood Ritual. Was it Blood Rights or Blood
Ritual
Rituals?
of the Night. Yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's different.
Having now seen how good this one is, if the next one is not good, that's going to be a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's coming out soon too. It's coming out, I think, in July.
Next
actually.
week. No, it comes out next week. Yeah,
really?
For the PS4 and Xbox One next week, and then on the Switch, I think June 28th.
Wow. Crazy.
Somebody better tell me if it's good.
Yep.
I'll get it.
Okay. You get it. You can tell me if it's good. Although, was it Christian who was saying it doesn't look good?
Yeah. The initial reaction has been not very good. So, we'll see.
We'll see. So, that's what I've been playing.
Cool. What about you, Mike? What have you been playing?
I've been so busy. I haven't been playing a whole lot. The only things that I've done was just watching the kid play Labo. He built the racing or the steering wheel.
Okay.
And it's really cool. I like how it's got a gas pedal and everything, and there's like missions and stuff you could do. You could, depending on which key you use, you could, you insert the key into the dashboard, and it changes it from an airplane to a submarine to a car, depending on which key you put in there.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun because the wife, who normally isn't much of a gamer, was getting involved and saying, "Oh, why don't you try doing this?" Because there's like you have to like find different things and do different stuff. So it's not like just a glorified tech demo. There's actual like missions in it.
That's awesome.
So I was doing that, and then the only other game I played was that Glaive Brick Breaker. I got that on the Switch for when it was 99 cents, which is that's a different game. This one is an Arkanoid clone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was enjoying that. That one's a lot of fun. Just something to play while I'm, got like the White Sox game in the background or something.
Yeah. Mike, if you wouldn't spend 99 cents on these games, you can go buy the game that you really want to buy. You know that.
Well, he did. He just spent $350.
That's true. That's true. That's a good.
I think Mike's doing okay.
Yeah, I think so. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Well,
cool.
6 months no interest, so
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Anything else you've been playing?
No, that was it.
You mentioned White Sox. just triggered my memory. Guys, the St. Louis Blues world champions.
Woo! How long have you been a Blues fan now?
Hey,
3-4 months?
Yes.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this, Roger. This is really meaningful.
You guys.
Finally, Roger. Finally.
I thought it wouldn't happen in my lifetime, but it did.
Hey, when I started watching them, they weren't, doing so hot, and then I started watching them, and they got on a roll.
Oh.
And I cheered them on. And I backed them, and I was ecstatic when they won, and I was super happy for them. They're my team, man. They're my team.
Till death do us part now.
Yes, that's right. It was funny because I messaged the true Johnny G, and I was like, "We did it!"
He's like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah. He just tweeted back, "We did it, Roger. We did it." And I'm like, well, I mean, for 3 months, I was, cheering them on. But no, I mean, yeah, it was cool. It was really exciting. It was cool because it's neat to see a team like the St. Louis Blues, hasn't won a national championship. To win one, that's cool. I'm always excited when that happens. And this team, is really a bunch of hardworking individuals that came together as a team, and that was awesome. That was just really cool. So I am very happy about that.
Well, I'm happy that you're happy, and that all the other Blues fans are happy.
And I'm happy that Blue's happy about the Blues.
There you go.
And Roger. That, yeah.
Anyway, let's go around and tell people how to get a hold of us before we get out of here. So, Blue, how can people get a hold of you?
You can almost always find me on Twitter. My handle is @WritersView, and it's spelled with a Y, so WRY. And then I also have a website, which is writersview.com.
Thanks. And Mike, how can people get a hold of you?
You could find me also on Twitter @TCThrowers. You could also find all my streamy goodness on twitch.tv/TCThrowers.
And nice. And listeners, you can always get a hold of us. You can send us a tweet at GamerheadsPC. You can send us an email at info@gamerheadspodcast.com. You can go to facebook.com/gamerheadspodcast. And then you can also go to our website, and that's gamerheadspodcast.com. And the other thing, if you do love this show and you want to show support, please do give us a review on iTunes. And the link for our iTunes is right in the show notes there, so made it easy for you. Just click there, give us a review, leave us a message. We'll read it on air as well, and that helps us because then other people will get to know our show, and then iTunes will make us more visible to other listeners, and helps our show grow. So that's one way that you can help support us. All right, until next time, I hope that you all enjoyed the crazy week that was E3. And I hope that the games that were announced, some of your hopes were fulfilled. And if not, there's always next year. So
we'll get Mario Kart next year.
Yeah, we're getting one, Blue. We're getting one.
A real one.
Until next time, folks, have a nice week. See ya.
Bye.
Good night.